fairly more patient in neutral, but who gets that first enters in neutral and gets to develop from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And right as you mentioned it, both Rob being very good with the edge guard game and Falco being very good with aerial attacks and stuff. So that's gonna be a very important factor for both of them in this match. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna go into small battlefield.
Small battlefield. I really like this for both of them, actually, and the Plasmos as well. And here it is, like the first conversion. He didn't get grabbed that gyro at first, but he is definitely showing up in the damage department, and they seem to just be scrapping. It's gonna be one of those matches where you're not gonna see a lot of patience coming in, and I don't feel like 8BitMan is that type of Rob either.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of aggressive playing from 8BitMan before. I'm pretty sure. So and both of them I think can play very well with the platforms. They can have a good combo game. So right now Eclipz on a good spot trying to get some match guard, doesn't really get it. 8BitMan comes back. But yeah, we really don't see as much projectile spam as someone would maybe think we'd see with a character like Roth.
Yeah, and also, like, Eclipz is taking his time. He was taking his time at the corner with the lasers, but 8BitMan just decides to go in right at the blink of an eye. He takes that stock. Let's see if Eclipz is got it within him to, like, just respond right away, or if he's going to lose this stock. Okay, he saved his jumps. That was absolutely crucial to make it back into stage.
Absolutely. I think Falco has the small advantage here that if he's off stage, he has a lot of options to come back. Either going really low because his jump is he can go very high, or just getting to the ledge as fast as possible. Well, right now we see a case where 8BitMan hasn't really given Eclipz a chance to get in and get a setup like for a backer or something, and racking up the damage. So Eclipz better look for something to take the stock as fast as possible.
Well, barely managing to avoid that rotor arm, and no tech zone over here. Finally, 8BitMan gonna lose that stock, but let's see if Eclipz here can make up for the damage. Oh, ill-timed reflector over there, and the snipes are coming in through. Yet again, I don't know how that up tilt didn't hit. Didn't they fix that hitbox or something? Like, but anyhow, like, they are still going at it, and 8BitMan overcommitting only a little, and it costed him some percent, but he's still in the lead.
That's right. I just said that Eclipz did some damage with that little string. Doesn't really get to keep going with it, but it's still 60% on 8BitMan already, while Eclipz pretty much a hit away from losing the stock. But right here we see like the bread and butter from Falco, that up tilt to backer that's gonna rack up at least some damage, getting him a bit closer in this match. But yeah, at this point, it's anybody's game, especially if they're gonna play off stage, because both characters, a lot of options to get the stock off stage with their aerial attacks.
Ooh, coming in from above is Falco. Oh, Eclipz falling into the trap, and the up throw is gonna do it, looking like Smash 4. The good old days. But Rob is much better in this game, of course, but still, like, the pressure. And as you were saying, like, that up tilt into backer is one of Falco's main confirms, and we have not seen Eclipz get a single one of those at kill percent, so that is very crucial. The fact that Rob can just go for somewhat raw options off stage, whereas Falco is gonna have to, like, fish for that specific kill confirm. Like, I can only see a raw option from Falco if, like, 8BitMan gets very careless off stage.
Yeah, that's right. Eclipz really wants to get the stock as fast as possible, right? As I said, that the backer hits takes the stock. But as I was saying, the more percentage 8BitMan has, the harder it's gonna be for Eclipz to get a setup that can take the stock. So right now, I think on a good spot. Oh, but it's gonna get with this setup, and the up smash is gonna take the first game for 8BitMan. Insane item play here.
And you love to see it, right? Every time that you see that gyro at that distance, you know the Rob is fishing for something, but you are like, it can't be that bad. I can still hit him, right? And then you get, like, down tilted into death, and that's it. Like, he carried him. Like, I remember the first time that I started seeing that, it was actually from a player here in Mexico City. It was Big Boss, who was showing people, like, you can carry people around with down tilt, and that is exactly what happened. Like, down tilt, the gyro was already there, and that's your best pal if you are playing Rob. And, well, such a valuable tool, right? And he gets that first game. Amazing stuff for 8BitMan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's gonna be one of Rob's main options to both rack damage and take stocks at the end. We didn't see a lot of projectile spam, as as we said in the start, it's not gonna be like the smartest of choice because Falco can like reflect them. But
Yeah.
we did see those projectiles used, especially off stage, to try to do some edge guarding.
Yes.
We didn't really see any stocks being taken with projectiles off stage, but they definitely worked to 8BitMan's advantage. And it was a pretty close game, so definitely game two is gonna be something interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. Like, one thing that you pointed out, like those projectiles were more so to like break the pacing neutral, like to try to catch them off guard, not necessarily to like I'm praying for this option, right? More like so I'm pressuring you in a certain way, and I'm trying to get you. And we're going back straight into small battlefield once again. The confidence here. I mean, those combos were working fairly well at some point for Eclipz. It's just that those setups from 8BitMan were, well, they proved just too strong. And however, we know that Rob is here one of those really foot combo characters.
Yeah.
And that is one of the very few weaknesses that I could really say about this character, really.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be it's definitely dangerous for 8BitMan, especially with low percentage against a character like Falco that once he goes in, it's gonna attract a lot of damage. So he's gonna have to be very careful on the early stages of every single stock. And that fair doesn't take the stock just yet. Eclipz having a little bit of trouble taking the gyro, finally does it. 8BitMan comes back. Another fair net guard situation once again for Eclipz. Can't really get the stock just yet. Both of them on close percentage, and that up smash, which hit from the back, is gonna do the job.
That's right, and I mean that's a much more generous hitbox than it used to be in past games, and I like that. Like Falco really needed that stock, but talking about up smashes, like Rob's is no slouch in that department, really. It's a decent enough out of shield option and a great tool for confirming. And of course, once you get that down throw, could also turn into a ton of percent. But here, Eclipz seems to have just been taking the wheel and really not trying to let go. But as soon as I say that, of course, 8BitMan is going to respond in such an impressive manner.
Yeah, the little string he got from the lack of the tech pretty much tied things up on this second stock. Both of them with very close percentages. It's gonna come down to whoever can get either a setup or a good edge guard game. Right here, Eclipz is gonna go off the stage with that player and gonna take the stock right as I talked about that.
That fair is just so good for edge guarding whenever they are above like platform level. Yeah. Just because it lasts so long and it actually hits hard. And of course, Falco having such great aerial mobility can actually pressure up stage such distances. But look at this here. Once again, actually waiting for that up tilt. I like that.
Yeah, we got a little classic Falco combo doing 59%, and now Eclipz, different to game one, is the one that seems to have control so far. But right as I kind of cursed that 8BitMan's gonna take the second stock off Eclipz, and now we're gonna go to a last stock situation in game two. Eclipz gonna try to look for another edge guard. 8BitMan's gonna come back. Let's see if 8BitMan can get something started here to close the percentage gap.
Definitely, once again, the uppers, and last time he pressed upper 3 times, like he got a stock for it. Well, up on the C-stick 3 times, he definitely got a stock for it, but now 8BitMan here is suffering for his life. Very well-timed air dodge there to avoid, not certain death, but it would have been a ton percent, and even if Rob does have a great recovery, you still can suffer from that. The pressure coming in, he was expecting a roll, so he was charging the up smash, but of course Falco gonna try and go from above. And once again, like this time he rolls, so 8BitMan has a read. As soon as if Eclipz ever lets go or just gets lazy neutral, he's gonna get punished for it.
Yeah, and we see here 8BitMan taking his distance. Doesn't really want to be close to Falco at this point because any hit could potentially lead to a back air or something. But both of them really going in. Any of them can take this stock right here with pretty much any hit. The pressure on the shield he's gonna get. Oh, that does. Wait, it did. It did take the momentum.
That's physics right there. You cannot stop dead on your tracks. Like you just go flying.
For a second, I actually thought he had stopped by with that air dodge, but apparently it was not enough. And 8BitMan clutches it on the second stock and takes game 2 and takes the set off.
Yeah, that's right. This is 2 out of 3 still, right? So very
sure.
Great stuff. Like still managing to keep composure. Of course, we've said it time and time again at this stream here at Flat Combats. Like It really feels like when we get somebody whose name we really know or who has been known on the scene for quite a while, they, for the most part, tend to like be a lot more headstrong on those last moment situations where you are on the brink of maybe losing that game that leads you to lose the set, but no,